friends, it's Sandra here from Huron Ridge, and today I'm going to show you how we green our pots at the greenhouse. So when you come to visit us, you can certainly buy a pot that's already greened and decorated, ready to go. You just have to pick it up and put it on your porch. You can also buy pots that are only greens, so you can use your own decor items that you may already have at home, or you can go to the total do-it-yourself model. So that's how I'm going to start today. This is just a pot that we have on hand here, regular patio pot. You probably have some left over from different summers. And we just fill them here with recycled soil. Pretty straightforward. Any soil will work. You really just want something that will hold some moisture and that you can anchor branches into. So I wouldn't recommend sand or stones. You want something that will hold some moisture. You can also use Florist Oasis, but we always do our own in soil, partly because we have lots of it on hand, and that way you don't have the waste of Oasis later. Our bunches of greens come as about 4 to 5 pounds of greens. So we have mixed bunches of greens, or we've got single kinds of greens. Our mixed bunches, like I said, are 4 to 5 pounds. They have fir branches, cedar branches, as well as pine branches. And we figure that that's about enough for you to do a 12-inch pot, which is what I've got here. You could probably stretch them a little further if you want to, but we kind of gauge it for that so that you can make one pot with one bunch of greens. Our bunches of greens here this year are $19.99. If you happen to support one of our local fundraising groups that work with us, these are also the same size as our fundraising bunches. So whether you've come to the greenhouse to get your branches or you've gotten one from a local fundraiser, it's the same bunch of greens. Basically what I do when I'm starting to make a pot is I kind of look at the material I have to work with. I generally make my pots as a one-sided arrangement because I'm going to set it against the entrance to my house, and that means there's going to be a back against the wall. If you want to have it at the end of a sidewalk or somewhere that it's going to be round, you're going to need to design it a little differently, but today I'm going to focus on showing you how to make a one-sided or three-sided pot with a flat back that would go kind of against your entrance door area. Okay, so basically you got to start with your branches, and you need some tall ones to make the backdrop. So this is a nice tall cedar one. You're going to also need a good set of clippers. I don't find that scissors are strong enough, so hopefully you've got a pair of clippers around somewhere. Pine I tend to use as a fill-in a little bit later. And here are my fir branches. Okay, so I got them kind of split up so I can see what I'm starting with. And I'm going to start with a piece of cedar. Now, generally speaking, you can tell how far it's going to go into your pot. You want to anchor it in fairly far so the wind doesn't blow it around too much, but this is a beautiful straight one. So he's going to be my center back branch. And from there, I'm just going to kind of make a fan across the back and put some over each side to start with. So I try to work with the branches. Instead of putting this one on this side, I'm going to put it over here because it's naturally fanning that way. So I get that kind of flowing sort of look. I'm going to save some of the smaller ones for later. Okay, same thing here. This guy's going that way, so he'll come over here. It's kind of like that. And we do this in steps. So we never do all of one thing at a time. We're going to put in some cedar, then we're going to move on and we'll come back around to it. Okay, next I'm going to go to my fir branches. And I'm, again, just going to kind of layer them in. Now, our fir branches have more of a blue color at the back and more of a green color on the front. So depending on which side you want showing, you're going to want to put it in that way. I generally mix it up. So we're going to put that guy here. Perfect. Okay, so you can see that kind of layering that we're getting. Perfect. And here's where we get to cutting things. You can always cut more off. Sometimes we have to give things a little haircut because they get a little crazy looking. And then you want to find some smaller pieces that can go around the front to kind of swoop over a little bit. And the secret to having the front of your pot looking really nice is to think about putting your branches in on an angle. Now I'm going to pull these two guys off because they're going to be hard. So instead of going like this, we're going to put it in that direction. And that way it'll come out the front on a nicer angle. If I put it in straight up, it's just going to be like, meh. But if I put it in on an angle, it'll kind of swoop over the front a bit better. Okay. That's maybe a little short, but that's okay. So you're kind of getting the idea. Maybe see here. I think I want to have one that's kind of colored out the other way, but it's a little too angled, so I'm just going to cut it in 2 spots here. So I can put it in a bit more upright and get it a little straighter, but I want that blue to show. Okay, so you can see that's the front of the fir and that's the back, and it is very different colored. And now it's time for the pine. So again, I want to get a nice tall piece if I can find one. And I might stick it in the middle here actually. Kind of fill that in. These are beautiful. This set of branches is really nice. There we go. Just like that. Okay. Just gonna give that a little trim. Put it in on the angle again so it comes swooping out the front. We make so many pots every year. Our fundraiser total this year is well over 1,000. I can't remember. We're getting close to 1,200 pots. So our crew of our greening crew at the back has been very busy. Between reeds and pots, they're working overtime. Okay, how are we looking here? Not bad, not bad. Okay, now like I said, I tend to do things once and then I do them again. So I'm going to add, I don't want to just have some pine at the front. I'm going to add a little bit more cedar kind of to give it that layered look. So it's kind of mixed in there. And I clearly have enough pieces of branch here to do, I don't know if I can do another whole pot, but I could probably make a nice swag. A little bit of fir there. Good, and I might actually put a couple more tall things just because I have them in the back just to kind of fill that in a little bit more. Get a little bit more height going. Let's see, what else have I got here that's tall? Do I have another cedar? That's pretty good. I just have to clean off these bottom pieces a little bit. Now you're always going to want to save a stick from your greens for your bow to be attached to, because all of our bows, or any bow really, comes with wire, which is how it holds the bow together. But if you don't have a stick to anchor it into your pot, the wind will pull your bow out, and then you don't have a bow anymore. So that's one way that we always keep the bows to stick around, is we anchor them with a piece of stick. Okay, I think that worked out pretty good. What do you think? So I have some leftovers from last year. We have tons of stuff here that you can buy if you don't have decor items, but we really do try to reuse stuff. I do anyways at my house from year to year. So let me just see. I have this ribbon. Actually, I have last year's stick still, so clearly it worked well. All you do is you just take your ribbon wire and wrap it around your stick. Sometimes a little bit of steam does a good job with your kettle to fluff your bow back up, but we're just going to go with it here. But definitely a tip if you have a flat-looking bow that's been in your attic or your basement in storage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit that big ball in there. I thought maybe I would. Maybe I'll put the ball in first. Let's see. So this stick is way too long. I'm just going to shorten it up a little bit here. Put that in on that side there. I think I'm going to put my bow kind of off to this side here. The beautiful thing about working in soil is if you don't like something, you can pull it out and just rearrange it. If you're working with Oasis, you have this big giant hole left behind, so that's another reason why we prefer to use soil over Oasis. It's a little more forgiving. There we go. Put that guy there. I think this guy will be nice and tall here. There. And just for the heck of it, a little bit of glittery snowflake. Where do I want this guy? He's got a bit of a woogity stick. Hold on. Let me get him over here so I can see what I'm doing better. There we go. And I think that pretty much sums up our outdoor winter arrangement. So like I said, our mixed bundles are enough for you to do clearly a good sized 12-inch pot. I could have probably even filled a 15-inch pot with one of these bundles, but it gives you the opportunity to reuse some of your pots and some of your other decor items so that you can make a new winter arrangement with some of your old products as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you have a great day.